Hey guys, how's it going? So I just got the new amp, and there's a lot of interest in it. I didn't particularly need the amp, but I was curious as well. And there's so many. YouTube has changed, right? Everyone's getting paid to do demos. Everyone's doing all type of production things. And then there's a lot of people out there who really don't have a wide range of experience playing different amps, and they're not maybe going to answer all the questions you may have. So I'm going to do this friend to friend. This is not mic'd. I don't have IRs, nothing going on. This is a greenback with UK Celestians. I'm going to screw up. I'm going to flub, but I just want to talk to you guys as a friend, as I normally would, and kind of get at some of the things that I was curious about and stuff like that. So let's just talk very quickly. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible so you get a general sense, and then you can make some type of buying decision about whether this makes sense for you to own or not, whatever it may be. And then I can do videos that are direct and stuff like that. So first of all, let's talk about, I'm not talking about the features and all that, whatever. Let's just talk about tones and stuff. So there's a clean channel, right? So, this clean channel is a clean channel. It's fine. It's passable. It's a clean channel. But the one thing I want to mention is that this is like my favorite guitar for tone testing because I have my favorite two pickups in it. I have an Arcane Phil X Super 8, and I have a John Suhr custom wound single, which was in this guitar. It doesn't have a model number. It just said custom wound John Suhr. Now, the reason I'm mentioning that is not to brag about how cool my pickups were. It's just that because these pickups are always really consistent. So for this clean channel, let me get a little louder. There's no chime. It's really flat. There's really nothing too fantastic, I would hear a chime that I'm not really hearing on this guitar. And these are the best pickup I have for that tone. So it's not glassy. It's not chiming. And what does that mean? It means that if you have a Marshall, pegged, and you roll back the volume, you're going to get the most beautiful sparkle you've ever heard. That's not this amp. All right, so let's just establish, I know it's a first impression, but I'm pretty sure this clean channel is nothing spectacular. All right, so forget clean. No one buys a 5150 for cleans. We understand that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to the humbucker, and I'm going to go, I'm going to put the overdrive on, right? And I want you to hear just the range of gain. So we're on 4. Let's go around 3, right? So I can see it probably could use a little bit more gain for that tone, not too much gain. That sounds pretty damn good. I mean, you can't hear it through the iPhone. It sounds like crap. But to me, sitting there, being honest with you guys, it's a pretty damn good tone. It's cold, though. It's a cold tone, right? So when you get something like the Friedmans and the Suhr SL68, they soften it up. You get that sag. There's a softness to it. Your fingers just caress the guitar in a way. It's a very cold amp, right? Doesn't mean a great player can't get around that, but I'm just being honest with you about that, about what I'm going, it's tight as hell though. Now what's pretty crazy about that is that we are on the crunch tone. We're not even pegging the gain yet, right? So I'm gonna raise the gain till about 7. So there's a lot of range. As you hear this reverb, the reverb's built into the amp, which is perfect for early Van Halen. Obviously, it's not stereo reverb, but it sounds great. I mean, listen, this is a $900 amp, okay? Adjusted for inflation, I don't know how to adjust for inflation, but I know this. If I were a kid and I had this amp, it would be the most amazing thing I ever owned, right? So I think we need to put it in perspective of where we're coming from, because this is an amazing value already. So we're not even at channel 2. So there's a lot of range in channel 1 with crunch, right? I mean, I could do Humans Being. So that is channel 1. It's very important to know that. Now, I have learned that if we listen closely to the songs that we love, they're playing with far less gain. It took me a really, really long time to figure that out, even though people told me every single day. I'll name check Dave Friedman there, because he's told me that I play too much gain, and that the people, our heroes, don't use that much gain, which is actually 100% true. So that being said, in terms of usable gain, like if you're playing like 80s metal, that's as much gain as you'll ever need, and then you've got boost pedal, right? So now let's just jump over to the second channel, which has a noise gate. Ooh, the noise gate works pretty well. Wow. That's a lot of gain. Now, one thing I find really interesting is that resonance is a funny control. Resonance, I think, is a little bit of a novelty, because I actually don't like a lot of low end when I play. I actually like it to be really tight and lean, but I think a lot of people like that visceral feeling of the thump, you know, so they'll turn the resonance on like... which is fun when you're sitting here alone, but it's silly when you're playing like around with drums and stuff like that. So I actually would lower the resonance down to 3. So just funny, you know, as you get older and you kind of understand this stuff, resonance to me is not as important, but it's cool that you can dial it in to taste. So anyway, moral of the story is, we are on 6. I don't think I'd ever need more gain than this. That's a lot of gain. A lot of gain. And, you know, with the high gain, you really don't want as much reverb. So what's really fascinating... Oh, I screwed up. I had the burn knob plugged in for those clips, all right? So we were at the ultra high gain. So there's high gain and then there's a burn knob. Kind of like on the JP2C, there is a... shred knob. It just gets even more mid-rangey and thicker. So I dialed that back. I'm sorry, I messed up. Let's look at this amp without the burn switch. Let's add the burn switch. So in a way, it gets thicker, even more liquidy. Like, you can shred tap, whatever you want to do. I'm not doing that. I'm embarrassing myself. But the moral story is there's so much gain. It's crazy. The light just went off on a second. All right. Where did I leave off? All right. So there's just... There's just so much gain. That was the burns off. So there's there's power scaling in this thing. I'm actually on the quarter power, which works really great. It actually sounds really good. I warmed up to it. I first thought it wasn't good, but I actually like it. So yeah, I think I kind of cycled through and gave you guys a good kind of first impression thing. I'm trying to think of things I want to tell you guys that I may be forgetting. I think there's a lot of things that make an amp really good, right? There's something I call grease. You know, there's that like, that kind of like Zach Wilde grease. You know, that like it just slides under your fingers, you know, type of thing. And there's obviously that kind of ability to roll back and get, like I'm rolling back. It's not rolling back that much. It doesn't get that much chime here. So I think I will say this. My feeling about this is that for $900, if you want that really aggressive, tight 5150 vibe, and you don't necessarily want to hunt down an old one, this has got a DI out. It's got a lot of cool modern features that would be really helpful. I think the old amp was 120 watts, right? This is a really usable amp. I think seasoned players will be disappointed with the overall lack of cleaning up, the clean channel, like the nuances that make an amp truly special. But an amazing player always sounds amazing. We know that, right? So you can be very happy with this amp. It's a very good value for the money. The question is, how does it really compare to the original one? My feeling is that I think the original one has a little bit more of that X factor in terms of dynamics. I've cleaned up on that amp before, and I've been very surprised at what I've heard. But we'll do more of those clips. But anyway, I wanted to give you a real honest, old school Rockin' Shippy video. I know I haven't been doing this stuff for a while. I'm very busy. Unfortunately, I don't really have time anymore. For good reasons. Everything's fine. Everything's good. But anyway, I hope that was helpful. If you guys have questions, you know, you can leave a comment and I will do another video. I'll do direct clips. I'll do whatever you think you want to hear. Mic'd, whatever you're interested in hearing. I think it's a cool amp. I mean, I'm going to keep it in the stable just for novelty's sake. I'll probably end up recording pretty cool stuff with it. So anyway, I hope everyone's doing great. If I don't speak to you, well, I probably won't speak to any of you, but speak to a few of you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I wish you guys the best. Stay safe.